Well, everybody, this is going to be a VHS and DVD update for August 15th, 2025. And today, my dad and I went to 3 thrift stores and I got some VHS tapes and DVDs for the collection. So, I we were going to find a VCR player at thrift stores, but can't find it, unfortunately. But that's alright, though. At least I'm going to find a VCR player from Amazon soon. So, anyways, no time to waste. Let's begin with this update. Starting with the two clamshells, slip covers, and then the DVD. So, anyways, let's begin now. I'm going to watch this movie for Easter next year. So, yep. And I will be writing the week year codes down after this video, so just to let you all know. The 7th week of 1998. And finally, here's the last Clamshell VHS update. I was originally gonna hate this movie for sure, but now it's alright in my opinion. But I'll give it a try soon, so yep. May 21st, 1997. That's it for the clamshells, and the rest are gonna be slipcovers, so yep. There. That way I could make some more room here. So anyways, let's continue on. Haven't seen this movie yet, but I will give it a try soon. Two print dates, May 23rd, 2002 and May 28th, 2002. And I believe this is a full rental from Videoland, so just because of the stickers. No. This tape was actually a former rental from Albertsons, so my mistake. Sorry about that, folks. I was gonna correct it, but it's actually Albertsons, so I thought it was Videoland, but it's Albertsons, so yep. I finally have the rare 80s tape from the Nostalgia Merchant. And I finally have this movie for the collection. And the top is chopped off. There's no label on this tape, but at least they got an end label, so yep. I haven't seen this movie yet, but I will watch it next year, so yep. And this was sealed, but the original owners opened it, so yep. Part 1 is printed April 15th, 1997, but they forgot to put the 0 on it. But I'll fix that mistake after this video. And part 2 is April 17th, 1991. But this tape is actually April 17th, 1997, so they made a huge mistake on this tape. Hopefully I could fix one of the printings after this video. So, yep. And I will give this movie a watch soon, before Easter of 2026. So anyways, let's continue with the update. Never heard of this movie until now. Once again, it was sealed, but somebody opened up from the bottom. The print date is May 5th, 2001 on the Invisible Ink print date. You know what? I'm gonna show the rest of these VHS tapes. So, anyways, let's continue on. Once again, it was brand new, factory sealed, but somebody opens up from the bottom. I think the print date is September 3rd, 1993. There. I don't want the tapes to fall. Haven't seen this movie yet, unfortunately, but I will soon. When I get a chance. After I find the VCR player. Once again, it was brand new, factory sealed, but somebody opens it up from the bottom. And this is a TV movie from 1975, and it's directed by Alfred Hitchcock. And this tape is a full rental from Videoland. Recycle tape, printed the 26th week of 1993, and the regular print date is the 15th week of 1995. Never watched this movie before, but I decided to get this for the collection purposes. This is part one. Part one's printed October 17th, 1994. And part two is printed October 16th, 1994. Haven't seen this movie yet, but I will soon, so yep. And Steve Martin is already turned 80 years old yesterday, so happy 80th birthday to him. And this is a reprint, printed the 45th week of 2000. And finally, here's the last VHS for this update. And then we'll get to the DVDs. And once again, it was brand new, but somebody opened from the bottom. And this is also a reprint from the 45th week up to, actually, it's printed the 49th week of 2001. So this is a later pressing. That's it for the VHS tapes. And now let's get on to the rest of the DVDs. So here we go. And I'll point I'll point it when I showed the DVD from any thrift stores. For example, I got this tape from the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Clarkston. And I will watch this movie as soon as possible. This DVD, however, I got from the St. Vincent de Paul in Lewiston, right by the Goodwill store. Haven't seen this movie yet, unfortunately, but I will as soon as possible. Got this DVD from the OUI thrift store. And I finally have this movie on DVD. Originally purchased from Goodwill, but I got this DVD from the OUI thrift store. Haven't seen this movie yet, unfortunately, but I was originally gonna hate this movie, but I'll give this movie a try soon. Maybe tonight or so, if I have the chance to watch this movie. Got this DVD from the OUI thrift store, and this DVD that I got from the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Clarkston. And I haven't seen this movie yet, unfortunately, but I will soon as possible. Oh. I have Charlie's Angels on DVD, but never gonna get as good as it gets because I'm not interested in this movie, in my opinion. And now I'm going to show 5 more DVDs for this update. Once again, haven't seen this movie yet, but I will soon when I get the chance. And I finally have another Touchstone movie for the collection. And I finally got this DVD from the OUI thrift store. Same with The Last Supper and City Heat. And this movie was inspired by the 2002 movie Chicago, which I have the movie on DVD. And that movie won Best Picture. But this is the 1942 version of Chicago, which has Ginger Rogers. And I finally have this movie on DVD. And I used to have the movie on VHS back in 2018, but I got rid of it. And I remember watching this movie on HBO Max back in 2021. But now I finally have the movie on DVD. And I will plan on rewatching this movie this October, so yep. Finally have this movie on DVD, so yep. And finally, here's the last media for this update. Oh yeah, this, along with The Shining, Roxy Hart, Dear John, and Beat 'em Like Beckham, got those DVDs from the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Clarkston. And I haven't had this movie for the collection, but now I finally have this movie. Of course, I do like Cameron Diaz, so I decided to get this movie. Well, everybody, there you have it for my media update for August 15th, 2025, which is the VHS and DVD update. This is Superman Me 2002. See y'all later, and have a great rest of your guys' afternoon. So, yep.